Say hello, I'm very cute. Hey guys, so today I wanted to film a updated cage tour of Finn's cage. I currently have him in a more, what I would call a summer setup, which means he has his heating, he has all of his stuff for him to explore. This isn't going to be his final summer cage, but Finn is awake and I wanted to get it set up. There's a few other things I want to add into this cage that I have yet to add in, but will be soon, hopefully. So follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see those updates, because I probably won't do another video on it just because they're more like aesthetic things and very like simple changes that I need to make. So let's start with the biggest change from last year's summer cage. I have him in a different kind of base. Now, originally I put him in one of these black cement mixing bins that I have my rats in. I also have my hamster in one, as you can see there. So I didn't like this for Finn for a couple reasons. One, because I really like using the loft for him. I like to put his wheel up there because, as you can see, he has a 12-inch flying saucer, and let me just like, it takes up a lot of floor space. So I wanted to go ahead and put that on a different level. Plus, Tenrecs are semi-arboreal, so giving him some climbing opportunity is ideal. They curve in on the sides, which I personally find fine for my rats and my hamster because they use the entire height of their cage. So it doesn't bother me as much that they're missing like 2 inches on the sides. However, Finn spends a lot of time on the bottom of his cage, and so I wanted to be able to give him the full size. Not to mention, I figured there was a way that I could potentially make this look better, with the sort of theme I have going on. So instead, I built a coroplast base, just like for a CNC cage, and then I wrapped it in contact paper. And it's just like a wood grain contact paper, and it's not like the most natural looking thing. It kind of reminds me of vinyl flooring, but I think I like it better than the black bases. I also really want to build a similar base to this up here so that I'm not using the fleece tray. I don't mind the fleece tray. I very specifically use like a green one with a brown liner because it looks, you know, it sort of matches all of this. But I think if I can build a tray for the top here out of coroplast and cover it in this, I'll like it a lot. And then that means I can also put bedding up there, which would be cool because he seems to really like the bedding I have him on currently, or the substrate I have him on currently. Let's just start out with a tour, and then I will show you guys what I'm changing just so that you can get an idea, and then keep an eye out on my social media in the coming like weeks, and you'll see those changes kind of take effect over time. We have Finn's sand bath. Tenrecs clean themselves with sand. They use it to exfoliate and all of that good fun stuff. So he has a rather large one back there because he spends a decent amount of time in it. Here we just have, I don't know, decor. It serves no function other than to just look nice. I have some fake succulents, a little bit of wood there that like, I ordered on Amazon thinking it was much bigger than it was and got that. So it has no function. Then there's a hide here with some more fake succulents. The substrate he is on is Reptisoil, which is working a lot better than the Eco Earth because I use it dry, and Eco Earth is really dusty when it's dry. And then I also have some Reptibark here. I don't use a lot of the Reptibark because I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I put it by his little food area because it seems to keep him from like dragging all of the Reptisoil up here and getting it in his water and stuff. Speaking of which, we have a bendy bridge here that just keeps his food and water from getting buried in soil. The corner of that is weighed down by, what is it called? Mopani wood, I think. And that's pretty heavy. And actually, like, he can go under there. There's plenty of room for him to do that if he would like. So it's kind of a tunnel as well. So that works out. But it weighs this down so that he can't move it. And then I have another bendy bridge here, which I don't know how well you're going to be able to see in there, but there is a tile in there as sort of a cooling off hide, because I do have this cage heated. I'll talk about that in a second. Back in this corner, we have sort of a hay pile and one of these like log houses from the pet store. I really want... Actually, Gimli has it. I might wash them and switch, but Gimli has the more neutral colored one and not the red one, so I might switch them because I think the neutral one would look better. But, yeah, he has that. And then surrounding the cage is just like this vine garland thing. I actually have more foliage. I ordered it because I wanted to get this cage all set up, but then UPS dropped it off at my complex office and I haven't had a chance to go get it. So he has his ramp up to this loft. He doesn't always use it actually, which I think is adorable. Sometimes he just climbs the bars. But let me move the wheel here. He has a little bit more foliage here. And then his personal favorite hide that he uses all the time. I don't know if you'll be able to see him very well, but he's hiding in there. And I'll have all of that stuff linked. And then his 12-inch saucer. Finn has tried just about every wheel that you can get on the market, and he loves his saucer the most, so that's what we keep using. And then, oh, hi. What are you doing under there? Are you trying to hide? Will you come out so everybody can see you? Oh, I know it's the middle of the day, and I'm just bothering you. There you go. Say hi, guys. Mom has been messing with my cage for like 2 days now. It's very annoying. I'm just trying to sleep and eat and be a fat boy. Go ahead. Are you skeptical? Well, don't come this way. Where are you going? You want out? You can come out. Okay, so there's the bare basics. There are some changes I want to make to the cage. So over here you can see I have like a little table currently because I have some stuff that I want to add to this cage. Like, I think I'm going to put this here and have the ramp running down. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I want some like foliage to go around it, so I haven't set it up yet. I have a couple ramp choices here, and then I also have like a bendy bridge that has clips on it that could work. So I haven't figured that out yet, but that's something I'd like to do over here. I was also thinking about getting like a bigger piece of wood, maybe some like grapevine or spiderwood. I don't know. I'm not like good at this stuff. Something that kind of fills the space because he is semi-arboreal, and I'd like to give him more than just like this. That's partially why he has this cage, so I'd like for him to be able to utilize it. He does climb the bars, and I do have some snuggle sacks that he loves that hang on the side. It's the snuggle sack. He loves this dumb thing. It's Nintendo themed though, so it doesn't exactly go with the whole like natural vibe, but I hang it from this door so that it's like right up against this loft, and he loves that thing. So I just kind of take it out when I know I'm going to be filming. Let me know if you guys like actually mind that kind of thing though, because if you don't, I could just leave it. But anyway, point being, I'd love to add more things in like this general region. I do every year. I'd just like to do something slightly different this year, so we'll see how that turns out. Moving on top of his cage, I do have UVB and his heating. Now, his UVB is not plugged in. So last year I bought this fixture. It's a Zilla fixture, which is great. And then I used it while he was awake, and then he went to sleep, and I didn't use it because he was hiding and there was no point. Hi. So there was no point in me using it because he was hiding and he wasn't coming out to like bask or anything like that. He wasn't even sleeping on the top level. He was sleeping down at the bottom. And during the summer he sleeps up here most of the time. So, hello. Are you curious as to what the heck I'm doing in your cage? So anyway, I bought this fixture with the light, and I bought a replacement bulb for this year, and I have that. However, the Zilla fixture, you cannot pull the bulbs out of, and you can't replace them. So when I went to set this up, I went to put in the new bulb because they need to be replaced every 6 months, and I had used this, and anyway, long story short, I need to buy a different fixture so that I can actually use the new bulb. So all of the stuff I need to set it up, the zip ties, the timer, all of that is just sitting there waiting. In the meantime though, I did go ahead and set up his heat, and I just set this up today, so it's not fully heated up, but we have a thermometer probe here that goes up to the thermometer, and then the thermostat that I use is a Inkbird one. Now the Inkbirds constantly flash on camera. Trixis does the same thing, but I have it set up on the side, and I have it set so that it is 85 during the day and 75 at night. Now, it's actually fairly debated whether or not Tenrecs need heat. During my research, a lot of people initially told me that I should just keep him at room temperature. It seems to work for a lot of people. It was not working for me. Finn was having like appetite issues. He would only eat mealworms. He wouldn't eat like regular food. He wouldn't eat any other bugs. He was really picky. He was in torpor for a really long time. He struggled coming out of it. Like I was just not thrilled with my results keeping him without heat. So I decided to try heat. And the way I did that one was I did a lot of research in the Tenrec groups, particularly Everything Tenrec on Facebook. That was really helpful. I also looked up where they are from in Madagascar and looked up the average temperature there. And during the summer, they range from about 90 during the day to like 70 at night, and actually they get a little bit hotter than 90. Like they'll range from like 95 to 75 some of the summer months. So I figured if he is from a place that averages like 95 during the day, then why am I keeping him at 75 during the day in the summer? That doesn't really make sense to me personally. So I decided to switch up what I was doing. Let me get some bugs for him because he's like awake now because I'm bothering him. So as I was saying, I wanted to sort of replicate what he would be feeling in the wild, if he was in the wild. I was also a little bit weary of having his cage reach 90 though, so I kind of hit a happy middle of keeping it around 85 during the day. I'm gonna try that out. I did it last year and had really good success. He stopped being picky. He literally would eat anything I gave him pretty much. This year he ate a superworm for the first time, even though he has like historically hated superworms. And for me, that's ideal. I'll have the model of the Inkbird that I have listed down in the description, because the model that I use on his cage, you can actually set two different temperatures at two different times. So during the day, this cage will heat up to roughly about 85. And then at night, it'll drop down to roughly 75. And that'll sort of replicate what he would be feeling in the wild, hopefully. I also have this set up so if he really does not want to be around the heat, he can move away from it. I have that tile area that I showed you guys. Also, the loft doesn't get as hot because it's kind of offset from the heat. I have the heat targeted in this general area where he is now, so it does get warmer there. And then the UVB I am mostly experimenting with, so I'm not going to tell you precisely what I use and anything like that because I'm not comfortable giving you guys advice on that front. Everything I've learned about using UVB for Tenrecs, I have learned from the group Everything Tenrec on Facebook, so I highly recommend if you want to know more about that to join that group and ask questions about it, and they will educate you the same way that they educated me. This is all pretty much experimental when it comes to Tenrecs because unfortunately there's a decent amount of information on keeping them as pets, but then there's a lot of information that's heavily debated, like heating. So I'm just doing what I think is best and what Finn is showing to enjoy the most and then going from there. So, like I said, I will have everything that's inside his cage linked below, including my heating setup. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing Finn and his cage and watching him munch while I chat to you guys. Like I said, follow me on social media if you want to see all of the changes that I make to his cage throughout the summer. Actually, probably not throughout the summer. I plan to have all of these changes done like within this month, hopefully. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully I will have some more videos for you guys on Finn. If you want to see them, leave requests down below on any suggestions you may have regarding him. I'm really hesitant to do care-based videos on him, but if you have any specific requests, go ahead and leave them and I'll see what I can do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Say bye, guys. I don't have anything for you. I don't have anything for you. If you bite my finger, we gonna fight.